Hello, welcome to today's 15-minute transformation. I do weekly sessions to my Facebook group and across social media on 15-minute transformations that are going to help you reframe the way you think about social media and about your marketing, and give you more insight into the reasons that you do things and maybe the reason that you struggle with things and ways that you can do things differently. So thank you for joining me today. I'm Libby Langley. I'm the creator of Marketing Megastars program, and I've been a social media, online marketing, digital marketing, traditional marketing coach for over a decade. So welcome. Thank you very much for joining me today. So today we're going to talk about niching. Now, niching, or niching, if you're one of my American followers, niching is something that's talked about an awful lot in marketing. And the concept of niching is that you need to refine down your audience, your target audience, so that you are just talking to them, okay? Makes your message very specific. It helps people self-identify that you're talking to them, and it helps you have more clarity in what you're talking about, so you can always kind of stick to your message. Great concept. However, what if you're trying to follow the traditional route of niching of, okay, I'm going to profile my customer, I'm going to come up with my ideal client avatar. You might have heard talks of ICAs bandying about the internet. I want to come up with my ideal client avatar, and in order to be able to do that, I need to be able to think of their name, their gender, where they live, what they do for a job, how much they earn, whether they got kids or not, what size shoes they wear, where they shop, what colour their hair is, what language they speak, all of these things, okay? And that can sometimes be as overwhelming as the thought of kind of not niching at all. And the trouble with, and it's something that I have kind of taught myself over the years, but times are changing, okay? And that really prescriptive, I'm talking to Sue, who's 43 and lives in Leicester and has a Labrador and two children aged 5 and 7, probably be older than that, but that kind of thing is really difficult as we move more and more into the online space. There's a particular shift if you're dealing with if your ideal customers, the people that you want more of, are people that kind of come in, see you face to face, or if in the online space, because a lot of time in the online space you don't know the information and the details about these people, and there's kind of no reason that you should, because the kind of niching that you're probably already doing but not realizing you're doing is this kind of personality niching, let's call it. I ought to think of a better name for it, but let's call it that. Because if you're niching down according to actual, like, physical or tangible attributes, such as their income, such as their age, such as what kind of dog they've got, then you are excluding an awful lot of people who might absolutely love to work with you. And that is me saying that is really different from you saying, I want to work with anybody who'll pay me money. Because that fact simply isn't true. You don't want to work with anyone who pays you money. There are an awful lot of people that you absolutely do not ever want to work with. Partly because you've worked with people like that before and they were awful and they were a nightmare and they didn't pay you and they were rude and you don't care, and you'd rather work with people who are more like you, something. There's always something that actually we can say, no, I do not want to work with everybody, okay? For me, I don't want to work with corporates. Done my stint with corporate. I don't want to work with big companies. I don't get enjoyment from it. I can get amazing results working with large corporates and big marketing departments. I can get absolutely superb results for them, but I don't enjoy it. And one of the reasons that we are in business is to enjoy what we do, or we might as well get a job where we get paid holiday pay and sick pay and pension contributions and all of those stuff, all of that lovely stuff that I understand you get in the world of employment. Long time since I've been in that world. So you see, there's all you can. If I say to you, who do you want to work with? And over my decades plus of experience, this is a question that I've asked thousands of people probably. And often the answer is anyone who pays me money. And I always drill down on that and challenge that belief, because that in itself is a limiting belief, okay? You feel that in your business, your service will serve everybody because anybody will pay you, and that just isn't true, okay? That just isn't true. And you're limiting yourself by thinking that, because you're not actually refining down to the people that you really want to work with, and you're not refining down your messaging to really, really speak to the hearts and the souls and the minds and the physical sensations of the people that you do actually want to connect with. So let me use an example of supermarkets for you to try and demonstrate this in real world terms a little bit more clearly for you. Supermarkets is a concept that everybody understands what they are. And whilst they are entirely different to our business models, they're really good at marketing, right? They have big teams, they have multi-million-pound budgets, they're good at marketing. So let's take two supermarkets and look at who they appeal to. So this is UK based, but let's take Waitrose, which is a high-end supermarket, and let's take Asda, which is a budget supermarket. They are both supermarkets, okay? But they appeal to wildly different audiences. And when you see their marketing and you see all their advertising, you instantly know whether they're talking your language or not. And that's deliberate. You want a pint of milk? You go to Waitrose, you go to Asda. It doesn't make any difference, okay? But if you want to do your shopping and you want the experience of it being a nice time and you want to buy something a bit fancy, you go to Waitrose. You know that. If you've got 20 minutes in between 100 other jobs and you're frantic and your kids are screaming around you, and you more budget, you have to be more budget conscious, more sensitive, and you just want to get the food and get out, then you go to Asda, okay? They appeal to different things. And it's not just about budget at all. It isn't just about budget here. It's about the overall feeling that these supermarkets want to evoke in people. They're appealing very much to an inner sensitivity, an inner emotion, an inner guide, and particularly Waitrose, which if you overall probably doesn't work out that much more expensive if you buy their essentials range, for example. But you go there because you want to have the experience, you want it to be nice, the staff are dead helpful, you can get the fancy apples. It appeals to a kind of shopping as an experience rather than shopping for, I need to just get my groceries and get the hell home, okay? Whereas Asda appeals to it's very aimed at the family demographic. It's aimed at quick, easy, budget friendly. The experience is you don't have to experience it for long. You can just get it done, get out. And can you see how it's not just financially focused, but there is also the lesson that paying more for things comes with more expectation of experience than paying for less for things, okay? So supermarkets have absolutely got this niching completely nailed. And so the language that they use is softer versus more factual. The colours that they use are really similar actually, but there are subtle kind of tones in that, the way the shops are laid out. It's all about appealing to the senses of their target audience. And you'll notice this now I've talked about it, you'll notice it everywhere with everything. Cars are the same thing, the high end versus the kind of practical. There's so many differences. And for you with your marketing, if you're saying, well, I want to work with everybody, how can you? How can you appeal to somebody who wants to go for a browse on a Sunday afternoon and buy, have a few nice things as a treat, versus someone who's frantic, manic, more budget conscious, and just wants to get the job done? They are completely different audiences. And so the language that you would need to use, the visuals that you would need to use, the information that you need to impart needs to be completely different. So whilst both of those supermarket examples, you can refine them down probably by age, gender, where they live in relation to the store, how many dogs they've got, what car they drive, all that kind of stuff. You can, because there is a difference in their shopper demographic. However, if you look more for the experience and the expectation, you might be really surprised who ends up doing what and shopping in which. And that's exactly the same for you and your business. So if you decide, rather than focusing solely, because it can be a really useful exercise, rather than focusing solely on your ICA, your ideal client avatar, think about the feelings and think about the emotions and think about what matters to you and what matters to them. And then you will engage more fully with them as a rounded person. And inside, you'll get into their heads, you'll get into their psyche. They will say, oh God, yeah, that is what I need. That's who I want to work with. And there won't be any question. They won't think about the price that you charge, because they just will know that you absolutely understand them and that's what they need. And that's really, really clever marketing, but it's also absolutely brilliant niching. Understanding the emotion that you want to evoke in people will get you better, faster, more aligned results from your marketing than simply focusing on Sue, who's 42 and has a Labrador. I promise you that. Okay. So I hope this has been a useful reframe for you in terms of the way that you niche your audience. If you have any questions, then please feel free to post them. And if you're interested in finding out more about the way I work with my clients, then there's a link. I've shared a link to my Marketing Megastars program. So feel free, go have a look, have a delve in, and any questions you've got, you can DM me. This is a 15-minute transformation for you from me, Libby Langley, and I will see you again at the same time next week. Thanks for joining me.